Oh my God, what a game. What a game of football. Are you not entertained? Wow, I've got a headache, man. That was stressful. Stressful stuff, bro. What a game of football. I have to give a round of applause, bro. And I hope you are too. Round of applause to Chelsea Football Club. Round of applause to Maresca. Round of applause to Reece James. Who else was good today? Robert Sanchez. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm even saying that. But I'm saying it every week now. It's insane with Robert Sanchez. Cucurella. Chalobah, Fofana. Round of applause to everybody. Gusto. Enzo Fernandez. Esteval, bro. I don't even want to hear it. Esteval played well. Garnacho was good. Neto was class. Fucking Caicedo, bro. Caicedo. No, I'm joking. All right, let's get into it. I'm not celebrating the point. I don't want to hear anybody in my comments saying, why are you celebrating a draw? Why are you celebrating a point? Embarrassing. This is the stuff you clown Arsenal for. Look, I'm not celebrating the draw in itself. I'm not celebrating the point. I'm celebrating the performance. I'm celebrating what I saw with my own eyes, because what I saw with my own eyes could have easily been a win today. It probably should have. If we're talking about justice, we probably deserve the 3 points. Football is not a just sport. Football is not a fair sport. So we can't make that excuse. We can't get upset over that. However, I'm more than happy with the performance. We're a team who's had very concerning disciplinary issues this season. It's concerning. I'm not going to lie. It's worrying. Red card after red card after red card. We've gone on a bit of a good patch of no red cards, and we've been winning a lot in that time. When we got this red card, I was thinking it's going to be the same as the United game. We get an early doors red card. The players are going to not know how to react. Arsenal are going to take advantage. And look, Arsenal are a much better side than Man United. I was thinking we're going to get killed here. I was thinking we're going to get slapped. We're going to get spanked. And minutes after that red card, Saka has a great chance where he's left wide open. I think it was offside though, but good save from Sanchez. But to be honest, guys, after that, I didn't really feel that worried. I was obviously nervous. I was stressed. But I didn't feel worried that we were going to get slapped. I didn't feel worried that we were not going to compete. And if anything, that made me more nervous, because then I was, you know when you're in a game, you're a little bit more nervous because you know that you can get something out of it, that if you don't get something out of it, it's more disappointing than if you know you're out of it. You kind of get used to the fact that you're going to lose before the game even ends. However, more in that first half, I think we're the better team in that first half. Honestly, I do. Arsenal, we limited them to a few chances. We had quite a lot of chances, guys. However, we just didn't take them. So they may not show up on the stat sheet as shots on target or big chances, but they were. The Esteval one, it forced him on a plate and he just slaps it over. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. The ball did bounce just before he was going to hit it. That probably messed with his calculations. He's still a very young, raw talent. Let's be honest, guys. We cannot expect this guy to put up 10 out of 10 performances week after week. Although he did play well. He did play well. That was a blip. That was a poorly taken chance. But he played well for the most part, playing great passes into dangerous areas, making good dribbles, getting involved. He was good today, showing confidence as well, making runs. No complaints with Esteval today. And I think it was harsh to bring him off at half time, although I can see why Maresca did it. I can see the thinking behind it. Now, I think, what are the chances that we have? João Pedro from the Hincapié hiccup messes his footing up. João Pedro does very well to get in front, and then just can't sort his feet out, can't find the right angle, can't find the right position, and we end up blundering that chance. But it was a good first half, and I was thinking, look, Maresca's probably going to make a change this half time. The changes he make will determine the outcome of the game. He either makes a smart change, a not too reactionary change, a calculated change, and we stay in this game and potentially get a point, or he's going to lose his head, either not make any changes, shit himself and make 5 changes, and it will turn out to backfire. He took the first option. He made one change, which was Garnacho on for Esteval, slightly more experienced winger, slightly more experienced, maybe better decision making at times, to sort of minimise the risk. And I can understand that. And he didn't make any other changes at half time. I think he only made 2 subs the whole game. And I was worried about that towards the end. I was thinking, how are these players still going? But they did amazing. But yeah, on to that second half. Chelsea again, playing much better than Arsenal for the most part at the start. And we get off to a great start. I mean, João Pedro off a free kick, which we win at the start of the second half, I don't know how he manages to get to that ball, but he gets to it somehow, gets a decent connection, and Ryan makes a fantastic save, goes behind for a corner. Reece James whips it in. By the way, Reece James, my man of the match. What a performance. Reece James whips it in, and Chalobah with a magnificent header, bro. What a header from that angle, from that position, gets the right amount of accuracy, right amount of power, and it just cushions and bounces off his head into the goal. I don't know how to describe it, bro. You have to watch for yourself. It's a great header from a top position. And yeah, he didn't overthink it. And then we stay in relative control. Arsenal, of course, now start to pile on the pressure. They want their goal back. We've got a man less. We start to sit back a little bit more. Arsenal get their goal through a brilliant Saka cross. I mean, Saka had a bad game today for his standards, but he still, that's the thing with these world-class players, they still will give you something to hang on to from their poor performances. They will still get you an assist. They will still get you a goal. And it was a great cross from Merino, who is not going to miss from 5 yards out. So, yeah, then I'm thinking, it's going to get tough now. Arsenal have the momentum. We're on the back foot. Our players are getting more tired. How are we going to deal with this? But honestly, guys, for the rest of that second half, we were still the better side. Just tell me if I'm being biased in the comments. I truly think we were the better side. Arsenal were getting the ball forward at times, but they were very pedestrian with the way they were building up. We had a man less. Our best player probably on the pitch, Caicedo, was gone. They didn't really take advantage of that. Playing it about the midfield as if we still had 11 men. Slowly but surely, getting out to Saka. Saka would try a cross or a shot. It wouldn't really work out. They'd get it to the left side. Madueke. I don't know. I don't think it was really the best response that Arsenal could have gone for. And we bring Delap on for the final sub of the game in the 60th minute. And I thought Delap was fine. I thought we held up well, couldn't do much. Had a shot on target, to be fair, which was decent. But for the rest of the game, not much more to say other than we held on. The defence did its job, the midfield did its job, the attack did its job. However, Reece James, I need to talk about Reece James, bro. I'm sorry. I know I've already said world-class performance, man of the match, but I need to just give a full-on segment to Reece James. This brother has changed my life. He's changed my life. I mean, I've watched this guy since I was 13 years old develop and mold into the player he is today. And I'm not going to lie to you, so many times throughout that journey, I've thought he's never going to reach the point he's at now. I've thought, whether it be the start of his Chelsea career, when he really started to become a world-class talent, I thought we might lose him to Real Madrid. There was talk about Real Madrid for a while. Then Reece James comes out when Mount leaves and says, no, I'm not leaving. But the injuries, then I'm thinking, is he going to be one of those what-if players who we only get to see 5-10 times a season? He retires at 30, and we never really get to see what he's about, the level he can reach. But Maresca has clearly worked wonders on him. Because last season, although it started off like usual, from middle of last season till now, I don't think he's missed a single game from an injury. Unless it's been like a cup game and Maresca's tactically rested him. He hasn't been injured, bro. And remember, we've had Club World Cup football. He played a lot of that. We've had Champions League football to start the season, Carabao Cup football to start the season, some hot Premier League games to start the season, and Reece James has held in. And in these physical encounters, you need a player like Reece James. And his body is holding up, bro. This game today, he was getting kicked, shoved, barged into by Lewis Skelly, Calafiori. Arsenal couldn't get to him. And he was standing firm. He's the strongest player in the league, I'd argue. At least on the pitch today, he was. And he was showing that and imposing that. But not only does he have that physical presence, but technically, he might even be the best player on the pitch as well. That's a big statement. But the passes he was stringing together are one of one. The switches of play, the tight dribbles out of tough positions, which he has no business getting out of as a big lad. He's got no business wriggling out of situations like he's Hazard. I'm sorry. And then he plays the pass at the end to one of the wingers. Immense performance. At times, he's pressing as if he was the striker, leading the team, telling everyone to get up. He's a leader now. He's a leader, and he leads by example on the pitch in terms of his ability and how he plays the game, but also his attitude towards the game. So composed, so calm, rarely loses his head nowadays, and deserving man of the match. I hope he won man of the match. He certainly is mine. But yeah, if he did, deserved, and if he didn't, then whoever got it, it's undeserved. On Arsenal, look, they are still favourites for the league. This is not really that much of a hiccup. If they lost to us, that would have been concerning. A draw is not the worst of results going away to Stamford Bridge. Although they will be frustrated with the situation. Of course, they should have won today. They should have won. In fact, I was going to give them the benefit of the doubt because they didn't have Chalobah or Gabriel today. But the defence wasn't even really that much of an issue. It was the attack, the midfield. I thought Rice had a magnificent game, but apart from that, no. I can't think of anyone else who really impressed me. Eze was very quiet, which is surprising. He's been on great form recently. Saka was very quiet, except for the assist, of course. Merino as well, except for the goal, was quiet. Zubamendi got hooked at half-time. Or did he get hooked at half-time? No, he got hooked into the second half. Lewis Skelly wasn't great. I don't know. I wasn't really impressed by Arsenal today. And I'm sure Arsenal fans weren't either. But like I said, this doesn't really harm their title charge, in my opinion. I think today was just a case of if they win, they already have half a hand on it, let's be honest. And they didn't win, but they are still the favourites, in my opinion. Heavy favourites. And look, they didn't play dreadful today. They didn't take advantage of the situation, is what I'm trying to say. So what next for Chelsea? We've got, I think, the next 3 games are Leeds, Bournemouth and Everton, which we will not have Caicedo for. And why did he do that? Let's talk about the challenge, bro. Let's talk about the tackle. What was he thinking, bro? I know he's trying to get the ball. You can see it in the replay. But why, with your studs up? Why are you jumping into that? And in this game, which had so many eyes on it, and there was so much debate about him and Declan Rice, I still think he's a better player, Caicedo. I do. Doing that is not helping your reputation of being a shin kicker, which he's not. Anyone who watches him knows he's not. But come on, bro. Come on. Like that is a bit poor. I'm sure he'll learn from the situation. I'm sure he'll come back better than ever. And I trust Andre Santos, or whoever it may be, but probably Andre Santos, to fill in and to step up. Like he has been doing against Burnley, and also when he came on against Barcelona. He's looked great so far. So, yeah, positives all round, I think, except for the result. I genuinely think we could have won today. But again, we had 10 men, so we can't really get too upset. I'm honestly very happy with the draw. I'll take it. And like I said again, it's about the performance. It's not about the draw. We could have drawn today and had 11 men throughout the game and played really poorly and had like 30% possession and had like 2 shots. Was Arsenal were just unlucky. That could have happened and I would not be sitting here happy right now. It's a lot more nuanced than just the result, the end score, and how many points each team takes home. Actually, good comparison would be last year's game where we also drew 1-0 at the Bridge. I think that one was Arsenal went ahead, correct me if I'm wrong, either with a Martinelli goal or Trossard, I think it was Martinelli, and then Neto scored a screamer. But even in that game, I think we were good. From what I remember, I think we were good, but I don't think we were at the level of today. I don't think we were on Arsenal's level. I think you could still tell that Arsenal was still this kind of echelon ahead of us in terms of footballing ability. But no, we've reached that level and beyond, I think, this season. I truly think, from what I've been seeing, we have been one of the best sides in the world when we're on it. And now it's about getting that consistency, which we've been finding recently. But we have to stick on this path, stay focused, and who knows where we can go at the end of the season and what we can potentially get our hands on. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on the game in the comments. Let me know your man of the match. Let me know if you're an Arsenal fan, if you're a Chelsea fan, are you happy with the result? And yeah, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you lot in a bit.